Okay, today we're going to look at Lesson 8. Your I can statement or learning objective is I can write and graph quadratic functions in standard form. So this is very, very similar to what you did in Homework 7. Homework 7 was all about vertex form. In Lesson 8, we're going to do standard form. So you're going to find that the problems look very similar. Some of the things we're going to talk about are very similar. But the main difference is how the function looks and how we find the vertex. Okay. And then we're also going to have to change or know how to change your forms from one to the other. Okay. So we'll do some notes. I'll show you how to do a couple things. Then I'm going to use some sample questions from your homework to show you what you're going to be doing. I have added a blank copy of those notes and examples in Google Classroom. You're welcome to print those out and use them if you think that'll help you out. I do ask that you take notes with me, try the examples, make sure you write down the pieces of information I'm giving you. And just a reminder, this is a recording. I am going to be moving faster in this than I would if we were in person. So just keep that in mind, but you can rewind, pause, and watch it at your own pace. You can also watch it while you do the Math Excel work. You can do a little split screen or something, and that might be an effective method as well. So whatever works best for you, you're welcome to do, but I do ask that you follow along with me and take these notes. Okay, so first you need to know what standard form is. Standard form is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, or f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are real numbers not equal to 0, and your variable is x, your input, and then your y, your f of x, are your output. This is an equation. This is function notation. They basically mean the same thing. We had the same thing with vertex form. Okay, things are just a little bit different. A is still the same. B and C look a little bit different, but you could get those in vertex form as well, and I'll show you how to do that. These look very similar to what we saw when we were factoring, so you should be used to this form. It should look very familiar to you. Now, just like with vertex form, we need to find the vertex. So let me show you how to do that. So your vertex is an ordered pair. It's a coordinate point, x, comma, y. But we can't just look at this and see our x and y. Or like in vertex form, it was h and k. So we need to know how to find those. Okay, so x. You find x by doing the opposite of b divided by 2a. So you take the opposite of your b value, and it goes on top. You do 2 times a on the bottom. You simplify and see what you get for your x value. X equals that value is also your axis of symmetry. Okay, just like before, you take the x from the vertex, and that gives you your axis of symmetry. And then to find y, you just take whatever you got for x, plug it into the function, and find y. And I'll show you how to do both of those things, but they're fairly easy. Once you find x and y, you can make an ordered pair or coordinate point, x comma y, and that is your vertex. The last thing you need to know how to find in standard form is the y-intercept. So when you're looking for the y-intercept, your x is 0. So you plug 0 in for x and solve for y. Now, that's usually really easy if it's in standard form. If you plug 0 in for x here, it disappears. 0 here, it disappears, and you're just left with that c, or that number on the end. So that number is going to be your y-intercept. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is look at how to change a quadratic function or equation from standard form to vertex form. So it's actually really easy, and we'll come over here to the side and write down the instructions. So find the vertex. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to write. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking there. So find the vertex and then plug it in. That's all you have to do there. It's really, really easy. So going back to what we wrote down above, you find the vertex. X is negative b over 2a. All right, so what you might want to do is label A, B, and C. Here my A is 1. Okay, that can be helpful. So the opposite of B, so that's opposite of negative 6 is positive 6 over 2 times 1, and that simplifies to 3. So my X is 3. Now I want to find Y. So I do Y equals X squared or minus 6X plus 12. I'm going to plug in 3 for X. So that gives me 3 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 12. And then I'm going to do that in my calculator. You can do it in your head, but I'm going to use my calculator. You can too. Okay. As you can see, I'm typing it in exactly how it looks, and I get 3. So my X is 3, my Y is 3. And so I need to plug it into vertex form. So my X is H, my Y is also K. So let's see, let me get a different color here so you can really see the difference. So Y equals A, which is just 1. Our H is 3, so that's X minus 3, and that's squared. And then for my K, I also have 3, so that's plus 3. And that's my final answer. Okay, now, I recommend that you pause the video, try number 2 on your own, see what you can come up with, and then check your answer with me. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. So X equals negative B over 2A. I'm going to label A, B, and C. Okay, actually, forgive me. I'm going to make this so it will match your problem in Math Excel. So I do apologize. Change that to just negative x squared plus 4x plus 1. Okay, now we'll do the opposite of b, so that's negative 4 over 2 times negative 1, because we can put a 1 there. All right, so that's 4, or negative 4 over negative 2, which is just 2. Now I'm going to find my y. So y equals negative x squared plus 4x plus 1. I'm going to plug that 2 in. So y equals negative of 2 squared plus 4 times 2 plus 1. Again, I'm going to go to my calculator, and that equals 5. So now I have my x and my y, my h and my k. So I have 2, 5. So I'm going to plug that into my vertex form. So y equals x minus 2 quantity squared plus 5. Okay, and you do have a couple problems like that at the end of your homework assignment. And I will remind you of those when we get there. Guys, and I do apologize again, so sorry. I almost led you astray. So you have to also take the A and plug it in to the vertex form. I can't believe I almost forgot that, but I'm so glad that I saw it before I really moved on in the video. So go up here, change this, find the vertex and A, and then plug them in. Okay, so here the A was 1, so that was fine. Here it's a negative 1, so we have to put a negative in front of that set of parentheses. And I am so sorry that I didn't catch that. When I accidentally wrote the wrong word here, I think that I was thinking on the right track. I was going to find A, but I'm not really sure what happened. But it is Monday, the Monday after Christmas break, and I'm recording this, and I've not got it all together. I'm having trouble getting back in the swing of things. So just show me some mercy. I do apologize. Now we will move on to the last little thing before we look at some examples from Math Excel. So you need to know how to change your equation from Vertex form into standard form. You don't have any of these on your practice assignment, but I do just want to show you how it works, okay? Really, all you have to do is simplify. Okay, so if I give you y equals 3 times the quantity x minus 2 squared plus 5, we are just going to simplify that. Now, if you know this shortcut, and it's one that we talked about when we did special case quadratics, if you have the quantity a plus b squared, that's the same as a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. That can make this process a little bit quicker. Okay, I'm squaring this binomial, so that's going to be x squared 2ab, so 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 times x is negative 4x, and then I bring down the plus 5, and the 3 times, oh, guys, I'm really struggling today. I don't bring down the 5, I do b squared, so negative 2 squared is a positive 4. Now, the plus 5, and I bring down my 3, so I'm going to distribute this 3, and get 3x squared minus 12x plus 12 plus 5. Combine my like terms, and I have 3x squared minus 12x plus 17. And that's in standard form. And again, you don't have any practice problems like that. I just wanted you to see how it works. To go from Vertex to standard, you just simplify it out. And again, if you don't know that shortcut, you could write these out. X minus 2 times x minus 2, and you can do that double distributive property and get the same thing that I did. Just really quick and easy there. Okay, now we're going to look at some examples or some sample problems from your Math Excel work. Again, there's a blank copy of this in Google Classroom. You're welcome to print it out and use it with me. So number 1, find the coordinates of the vertex defined by this function. So we're going to use that x equals negative b over 2a. So the opposite of b is negative 16. 2 times a, that's 4. So it's negative 16 divided by 8 is negative 2. Now to find y, I'm just going to plug negative 2 in for x. So 4 times negative 2 squared plus 16 times negative 2 plus 9. Again, I'm going to go to my calculator because why not? Okay, and we get negative 7. So the vertex is negative 2, comma, negative 7. All right, number 3, we're going to do the same thing, and then we're going to go back to what we did with the vertex form. We're going to get the axis of symmetry, minimum and maximum, and the range. Okay, so again, for the vertex, x equals negative b over 2a. So that's negative 6 over 2 times negative 1. So it's negative 6 over negative 2, which is 3. I'm going to plug that in. So y equals negative 3 squared plus 6 times 3 minus 13. And again, use your calculator. If you don't want to use your calculator, let me show you how to work that out real quick. 3 squared is 9, so that's negative 9. 6 times 3 is 18, and then minus 13. So negative 9 plus 18 is 9. Minus 13 is negative 4. So your vertex is 3, negative 4. Make sure it's an ordered pair. It tells you there. The axis of symmetry is just this. So x equals 3. Now, we have to decide if it has a max or min. So the a is negative. So that means it's going to open down, and we have a maximum. So you're going to choose max, and you just want the value. So you want that y value, which is negative 4, and then the range. So again, you have to go back to what we did with the vertex form. So it wants an inequality, so its y is going to be less than or equal to negative 4. Okay. So if it has a max, your range is going to be less than or equal to. If it has a min, it's going to be greater than or equal to. But you did some problems like that with vertex form, so hopefully that'll be a little easier for you. Okay, number 6, it wants you to find the y-intercept. So we're just going to plug 0 in for x. So y equals negative 7/8 times the quantity 0 minus 8 squared. And so we'll simplify that to 0 minus 8 is negative 8, and we square that. And so that gives us negative 7/8 times 64. And I think that that is just going to give me, let me grab my calculator real quick, just in case I'm wrong. Yeah, negative 56. So the y-intercept is an ordered pair, 0, negative 56. Okay. Now, number 7, it wants you to graph the function. We're going to use what we just did. We're going to do the vertex, and you can do the y-intercept. You can use that 1, 3, 5 rule that we talked about with vertex form, either one. But we do need to find the vertex. So x equals negative b over 2a. So that's negative 6 over 2 times 1. So that just gives me negative 3. For my y, I'm going to plug that in. So negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 plus 6. And so that gives me 9, or minus 18 plus 6. That's negative 9 plus 6 is negative 3. So my vertex is negative 3 comma negative 3. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Negative 3, negative 3. Now, you can find the y-intercept by plugging 0 in for x. That's probably the easiest. So 0 squared plus 6 times 0 plus 6 is just 6. Okay, or you can do the 1, 3, 5 rule, over 1 up 1, over 1 up 3, over 1 up 5. Okay, and we can mirror it on the other side. Make your nice U shape. Now on Math Excel, you only have to have that second point. That y-intercept is going to be super easy. But you just need that second point, and you can make your nice parabola. Okay, number 9 is very similar to what we just did. We just have a couple extra steps. Okay, so we need to find the vertex first, because we're going to have to graph this. Okay, so use the vertex and one of the intercepts when drawing the graph. So that means we need the vertex and an intercept. So x equals negative b over 2a. So, oh, what do we notice? Is that in the correct order? No. So let's rewrite it. So f of x equals negative x squared plus 4x minus 8. Now we can finish this. So the opposite of b is negative 4. 2 times a is 2 times negative 1. And so that's going to simplify to just 2. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 is 2. Now we're going to find y by plugging 2 in for x. So negative 2 squared plus 4 times 2 minus 8. And so that's negative 4 plus 8 minus 8. And we're just left with negative 4. So our vertex is 2, negative 4. So I can graph that, 2, negative 4. All right, my y-intercept, I plug 0 in here and here, and I get negative 8. I'm going to use that. And just because I am on my paper, I need to mirror so I can make that U shape. So you'll graph that in using your graphing tools. Your axis of symmetry is x equals 2. The domain, all real numbers. It says interval notation, so that's parentheses, negative infinity to positive infinity. The range, let's see, we have a max, okay? So it's going to be below my y value, so that's going to be negative infinity to negative 4, and parentheses with the negative infinity, and bracket with the negative 4. Okay, you can do that exact same thing on your problem, follow that exact same pattern. Even if you're struggling with the interval notation, you can match my pattern here. As long as you find the vertex and get it on the graph correctly. All right, number 10 is very, very similar to what we just did. Here's 11 and 12. So you're writing the function in vertex form. Now, I'm not going to work this whole problem out with you because we did 2 earlier in the notes. So find your vertex, find A, and then plug those into y equals A times the quantity x minus h squared plus k. And so that will be your final answer. Again, we did 2 just like that earlier in the notes. You're welcome to go back to those. Or if you wrote them down, you've got them ready to go. All right. So I didn't do every example in the homework here. I only did a few of them, but you just have some multiples of the same type of problem. So you should be fine. If you need help or have questions, you can always jump back in the Google Meet if it's during class time. If not, send me an email, hit that Ask My Instructor button, and I would be more than happy to assist you however you need. All right, have a great rest of the day. I'm here if you need me.